volunteer somebody, I'll volunteer somebody. You're in a leadership course, right? Is this, I mean, is this what you're doing in your classes? No? Oh, so what name do you want to be called? Rost? Rostik.
Good.
Rostik.
This is my full name.
Yeah, I know, but you don't have the name that you want to be called on your name tag yet. This is about the 10th time I've gone over this. Your name tag. Hi, come in. Okay, Lubov, you're volunteer. Come up here. Yes. You look like you're resisting it most. Alright. So, do you remember integrity? Yeah? So you're going to put the integrity in. Alright? And here's where, so honoring your word, keeping your promises, so we're going to, yeah, look at kept promises, broken promises, and new promises, right? So there's a class list, and name tags are accurate for those who are not present. I did that for you already. All right, we just did that. Okay, find out if everybody finished the Hudson scale. All right, proper scoring, broken agreements. All right, so just find out.
Okay. Whether all the people who are present here get the messages with Hudson's test? Yes?
Yeah.
Did you check your test? Whether it's right? Done?
Yes.
Have you seen the results?
Show her how to fill it out right. Okay.
I haven't done it. Okay. So everybody gets the message and sends the results.
So every
I didn't send.
Me too.
huh?
Me too. I also didn't send because I received it only today, like hour or two ago.
Okay. So how many broken promises are there?
These people weren't present yesterday, that's why they haven't promised.
Okay. So what are we dealing with? The Hudson scales? Is that what you're working on, the Hudson scales?
They will do, when will they do?
Is that the part where you're working on? I got distracted back here. Is that the part you're working on, putting the integrity in the Hudson scales?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. And 2 people have not filled them out.
Yes.
Okay. And that's the only 2 people in here. Everyone else has.
I don't have.
Oh,
So I was absent yesterday.
and she wasn't here, so she does. But you got them in the mail, yes?
No.
You did not get them in the mail.
I forgot to check the mail.
And you didn't check the mail, so you don't know if you've got them or not. But Valerie, you didn't get the email, is what you're saying.
Oh, actually, I didn't check yesterday.
You didn't check.
I didn't know that you will send a message,
Okay.
and that's why.
Do you notice how, do you know, when you're dealing with integrity, do you notice how slippery, we're on this slippery slope, right? 2 people appear, they haven't had, what's their agreements, and there's all these, right? It's like, and you know, what the tendency is to want to not even deal with it and go to sleep, right? It's like, geez, can't we just move on already, right? Why are we dealing? Well, the opportunity set that we put here is decreased if we don't put the integrity in. So we either put the integrity in as painful and as messy and as much as we want. Human beings are not wired to keep putting the integrity in. It's counterintuitive. But if you want to have a breakthrough in performance, you'll keep putting the integrity in. even though it's counterintuitive and everything. Don't you have that? Don't you have this sense of that this is a difficult conversation? You don't want to do this, do you? No, this is okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, good for you. All right. So we need. I sent to all these people on that list the Hudson scales and how to score them. Did you take the Hudson scales?
The test?
Yeah, did you take the test?
Yeah.
And you finished it?
Yes.
Okay. There's 5 questions. Did you answer the 5 questions? I asked 5 questions. Huh?
In the first letter.
What?
In the first letter from you.
Yeah, but I also put it in this recent letter.
No.
No.
Well,
I made a test that we had on Thursday. Last Thursday.
Yeah. So the Hudson's thing is not an issue. She did it. So she doesn't have a broken promise. We don't need to get one from her.
yes, she did, but you said that some tests are wrong.
Somewhat.
Wrong now.
Yes, I have a question
So
about.
you should
They
check.
are. Yeah. That's another thing we have to do. But right now we need to find out if everybody's filled it out and sent it in. So has everybody got it?
Maybe.
Yeah, we need to find that out. Find out. Just put the integrity in this thing, okay? Find out what you need to find out to make it flat. All right.
Okay.
You might need something to write with. Okay.
Right.
Where's your notes? Over here. Is this it?
Green.
Green. All right. Green. Okay. So we want to know we want to have a powerful relationship to the facts. Do you notice right now we don't have a powerful relationship to the facts. You see that? No? Okay. Well, we don't know some stuff. Right? We don't know if everybody filled out a Hudson form. We don't know if everybody scored it properly. Jack, will you see if you can get this heat turned off? Go down the hall, second door on the right. Okay, so you turn left, second, and they have a little controller thing. Ask Tatiana for the controller thing.
So Sasha and Valerie should check their mail to
Yes.
see whether they got this letter from you. And then down this Hudson if they did
Excellent.
that before.
Very good.
And
Now,
then
how are we going to follow up to see if they did that?
We will tell
they
you
will
about
send
this
you the
tomorrow.
results.
Okay, so they're going to send me an email saying, I got it. Is that right?
And then the results. 3.
And then the results.
Wait,
Okay, so you're going to write down 2 names.
do you
and then-
promise?
Huh?
Portrait.
Yes. So you're going to write down 2 names and you're going to send me a message that says, expect these 2 emails that they have the Hudson's scales. And they're going to fill them out, right? So you're writing me a note about these 2 people. Yeah.
Fine.
We're putting in a structure, okay? This is called a structure for fulfillment. And it happens in the domain of communication. So she's creating a structure for us to fulfill on that everybody fills out the Hudson scales.
I'm
Right, so
sorry,
Huh?
I don't understand. What does Hudson skills mean?
Well, she needs to get, so you
I
need-
will explain.
okay, but she'll write her down to a note to tell me that I need to send her the Hudson scales.
I will get the center.
You will send her?
I will get
You already sent them to her?
the center.
Okay, and you're gonna make
Yes.
sure
This
that she,
afternoon.
she fills them out. Okay, so will you write a note to me that you did that?
Okay.
That you
Yeah.
sent?
I've got mail, but I don't really open it. I have some message on my phone that's email.
Okay,
I have some inboxes. And I will just, later have some possibility to check it later and open the file.
okay. Is that the name you want on your certificate, Sophia, the one on the bottom? That's what's gonna go on your certificate.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah? Okay, and that's Sophie is what you want to be called. Okay. So, what do you need to do to put the integrity in with what she just said? Which I forgot already.
To explain her how to do the test. Okay? About the test?
Yes.
Later I will explain her.
Okay.
What to do.
I'm sorry, why it is so important for you or for this class to explain and to fill up all which is said in this class? Why it is so important to allow it in the presence of all these people which are sitting here? Is it, I don't know, for me it is far more simpler just to remember the promise and that's it, and not to write it down, not to check it out. I remember it is written here in my memory. So
Okay.
just one answer. What
It's
is
not
what is the reason?
What's in your memory is not reliable. I'm going to assert. This is another term of art that you haven't got. You've got promise and you have request, but you don't yet have assert. Assert means that you would find that if you investigate, what I say will be true. There's another one called declaration. So you should be putting this in your terms of art. This is a term of art. I assert that putting things in your memory is not reliable. Because when you get upset, it won't exist anymore. You can't remember everything, can you? Do you have a photographic memory where everything gets remembered?
Not really.
No. Okay. Do you ever forget anything? Ever,
Of
ever?
course.
You do.
I do.
I rest my
It's
case.
natural.
I rest my case. Memory, and you just proved it, memory is not reliable because she said that she forgets things.
Sometimes, but not.
Yes, but that means you're only reliable sometimes. That means you're not reliable,
Um,
right? You're only reliable sometimes. That means you're not 100%, you're not reliable. You can't count on you.
Not 100% reliable,
Exactly.
but not reliable at all. It means that just every human being has its defects, something like memory. Nobody is perfect.
Exactly.
So
But you don't need to use that as an excuse to let you off the hook for not keeping your word. Can you tell she's a little bit behind the curve with this honoring your word and keeping your word thing? And we're going to now have to stop and kind of catch her up to speed. Or she doesn't get it about that. And you guys, can you see that? Yeah.
oh,
You haven't been in the whole...
maybe I should leave this room because I'm not just involved in the process or something like
Well,
that.
maybe you should. I don't know. But if you...
I should?
Yeah, I don't know. Are you going to watch all the videos?
No,
You're not?
I don't even have that.
I know, but you will get it. I will give you the YouTube. When you put this in existence, she needs to have the link to the YouTubes if she's going to be in this course. Okay. There's a lot of material that you missed. This course keeps building on, building on, building on,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're going to have to catch up.
Okay,
Are you willing to do the work to catch up?
of course.
Okay. All right. Then I'll let you be in the course.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Some people pay $5,000 for this course after they spend $3,000 to get there. Then they'll spend $3,000 staying in the hotel, and they'll take like a whole block of 10 days out of their life. So whatever that costs an executive 10 days of being gone. Some people pay a lot of money to do this course. It's an honor and a privilege. And it's an honor and a privilege for me to do it with you. But you're going to get out of this course whatever you bring to it. It's a measure. This course is a measure for whatever you're up to in your life. I promise you. But I need to know that you're going to be on the court with me.
I will.
All right. Davai. All right, so what else? So, is that Are we flat on the Hudson scales? Yeah? Huh? You don't know, I know. You will be getting them, and there's these 5 things with 25 questions where she'll tell you what to do. It'll take about a half an hour to fill them all out. Okay? You'll be getting them.
Okay.
And you'll get the manual, and you'll get the 5 questions. You have to answer the 5 questions. The manual is what I mean by the textbook. And then you'll get these Hudson scales, and you'll answer 5 questions. Then there's a collage. You have to tell them about the collage, right? You'll see, because we're going to work with the collages that they do. They've collaged leadership, their notions of leadership. That was the assignment anyway.
Talking about the class, yesterday Igor promised us to do what no. The class.
Who promised? Yeah, okay, so
So
So I feel that.
he did it.
yes.
So that's complete.
Yes, and I.
So you
sent
promised it and you did it.
video.
Okay, anybody else?
Maybe promise. No, I remember that
Okay.
this was on the case.
I want him.
Yes.
Okay. So find out if there's any broken promise.
So there is no broken promise.
Is there? Is there?
If there are any broken promise.
Anybody promise to do a collage and not do it?
No, I can say it. No.
Yeah, you can say it, but I'm saying it again because, okay, so here's some coaching from people in front of the room, right? People talk to themselves. Yes? This little voice that we have in our head, it says, it's commenting on things. Just, you commented on my tie and my shirt and cufflinks and, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You've commented on yourself being here and why are we having this conversation and whether your emotional state, whether you're bored or not, you're commenting on your emotional state, right? So there's all this stuff that's going on with people. They look like they're sitting there like blank slates, but you know because you do it as much as anybody else, and I do too, right? There is a lot of stuff going on over there, isn't there? Can you see that? Yeah. So when you speak, you have to intrude into that stuff. Okay? So you have to intrude into these conversations people are having with themselves, okay? Good. So, intrude.
So had anybody promised something and didn't keep promise? Raise your hand.
Yeah. Anybody ever promised that they broke? Pretty great. What else do we have? 5 questions. So ask.
5 questions.
It is.
Everybody got these 5 questions, right? Except those who didn't check the email. Everybody answered these questions and sent.
See, that's good. You're actually looking to see over there if they're listening. That's good. I didn't tell you to do that. But you have to listen. This is called listening to the listening. They're listening to you. They're listening to me speaking. And you want to listen to the listening. And you'll be able to hear kind of whether or not they're with you or not. And you sort of noticed that they weren't, you repeated yourself. That's great. So with this,
5 questions.
huh?
Hudson's College.
Okay, so do you mean to tell me that everybody has answered the 5 questions that knows about the 5 questions?
Yes, here in this room,
Yes.
everybody.
But we don't know about the people that aren't in the room.
Yes,
So do you know what that means?
but not
What?
question.
Huh?
Not all people answered.
Yeah, but do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? That we know the people here did it. We know some of the people in the last course. What does that mean? That we know that everybody here did it. What is that? If we're going to put the integrity in with the 5 questions, what do we have to do now?
Compare these questions or
Huh?
to compare the answers to the questions or
No, in order to, in order to keep the integrity in what do we now need to do about the 5 questions.
Finish this question.
Yeah, how are we gonna do that? What structure are we gonna put in to fulfill it? Everybody hears. What if somebody comes tomorrow? How would we know if they did it or not?
We'll ask.
Yes, that's exactly right. So we are going to have to ask tomorrow. And then we'll put it in this spreadsheet. Let me turn this thing back on. Oh, it's over here. We'll have to put this thing in the spreadsheet until we have it all filled up, all populated. And there's a yes and everything. Sound good? Sound good?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
The next one. Collage and done mentorship. Should I just? Yes, we have today 1 collage. Okay. Igor is honored award. He get bronze and he done his collage. So we can look at it and to work on it.
Is everybody else in the room done the collage? Kept a promise?
Anybody else promise to do this for today?
I didn't promise to do the class, but I haven't done it at all, and I will do it for tomorrow. Right.
Put in list.
Okay.
Okay,
Wow.
we accept this promise for tomorrow.
Now that we're taking the course, now we've completed a sufficient amount of stuff where we can actually start catching up on a little bit of the course that we started. So we're starting threads. I don't know if you've noticed, but we're starting conversational threads. And at some point, we're going to complete this Hudson scale. Everybody, it's gonna go away. We will have completed that. We will have that completed. We'll have that completed. But right here is a thread that we started that's not yet complete. Okay, do you remember? Do you remember how this thread got started here?
Sure.
Okay.
We will look at these collages and talk about them and explain each picture, what it means to a person.
Yeah.
He or she chooses.
Right. So is everybody in the room got their collage with them?
So everybody in the room got the collage with them today.
No.
Who has a collage today? Who has? Raise your hand. 2 persons.
So we only have 2 people with collages, right?
Yes.
Ah. So that's going to limit our ability for us to work with collages, isn't it?
Anybody else want to promise to do it for tomorrow or?
Just bring?
Well, has everybody in the room done the collage? You don't know what we're
I would,
talking about.
I would promise, if somebody informs me, how to
I
do
will
that.
inform you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then no questions.
So is that you're making a promise to her?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have that recorded?
Okay, and I promise to do that for tomorrow.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay.
You're her. That makes you her. You are her committed listener. Do you know she promised? You heard it. You are her committed listener. That's a term of art. Committed listener. She's committed to her promise, because she promised her. She's the fulfillment of her promise. That makes her she is the committed listener. Term of art.
And also others should bring their collages with them every time, right?
Tomorrow?
No, every time we have a lesson, everybody who does the collages always should keep their.
Okay, but we need to
No, no,
for
no.
that for the whole
Mhm.
course. But we do
But
want
while
the-
we're working with them.
while we're working with them. Excellent. So now you have a
So
request.
next time
Yeah,
it's
so you have a request.
okay. Do you mind to bring your?
No. Don't be so nice.
Okay, you should.
No,
You must.
just make it straight request. I request, right? Promise, request, assertions. You got those? Those are speech acts. She's now going to make a request. I
Okay.
request.
I request you to bring your collages that you have done already. Keep them with you for the next few lessons. And then you may not keep them. Okay,
Okay.
everybody heard? Okay.
Do you really get their promise? I mean, did they really promise? Like when you promise something, it kind of puts you on the
So
Promise.
this
spot.
side, promise me.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
promise.
Yes,
we
we take
promise.
this.
Promise.
Okay, promise.
Anybody not promising? So you want to drill it in. Anybody not
We swear.
promising?
Anybody not promising? Who don't want to do
Or have
this?
a
Or
counter
refuse?
Or have a counter offer?
Okay.
So, look at them, say, is anybody not promising? Do that, recreate me.
Is anybody not promising?
God, did you get the power?
No.
So, she could take a little bit of this out of it and just put,
I mean,
is anybody
come
not
on.
promising, right?
Okay. So,
Very good, that's good.
please.
So, record that on your notes, that everybody promises to bring a collage. Because you're now the structure for fulfillment of that promise. They all have a promise. They've all promised, yeah? You're the structure to fulfill that. You're listening committedly. All right, so we can't do cliches of leadership. Did anybody find cliches in your leadership collages? Remember, we discussed
Would
this.
you please define cliches? What
Well,
do you mean
she's
under
gonna
this
have to-
phrase?
She's going to have to catch you up to speed.
Oh, okay.
That was yesterday, so we aren't going to do all day yesterday.
Okay, I shouldn't ask.
No, you can ask. That's great. You need to ask so I can tell you.
Okay.
She'll tell you. I need to tell you that she's going to tell you, so now you know. Okay? So ask. That's fine. Ask.
But what do you mean under this term or define the cliche?
She is going to tell you that.
Okay.
All
What
right.
do you mean about that? She will
Now
tell
she
me.
will tell you what a
Okay.
cliche is and define it and tell you how we're using it. She'll catch you up to speed about the cliche thing. So, she will. I promise.
You promise for
I'm promising her promise to catch you up to speed, yes. I'm going to call her to account for your being up to speed. Okay?
Yes.
Okay? Alright.
And next time I will ask you if you broke your promise or not.
Yeah, that's good. You're catching on. That's right. That's exactly how the game is played.
Okay.
Now, okay, so one more, so about promising. And I mentioned this a little bit, but you brought it up. The idea is not to dominate somebody with a promise, but to support them. Right? You promised to do something. I'm here for you to support you in what you promised. Now, I could, not powerful, but I could say, well, Sophia, you promised, and you didn't keep your promise. What's wrong with you? You're not a very good, right? It's not empowering anybody, is it? That's dominating somebody with their promise. But if I say, Sophie, I know that you promised to do all this work, and when are you going to find time to do it? And, do you need any support? And what else can I make happen for you? And what do you need? Right? And then she'll tell me what she needs, and then I'll support her in whatever way that she needs support. So when she promises that, it actually becomes my promise. That's real power in partnership. When someone promises you something, you promise their promise. I promise your promise. You said that you'll come and do all the work. I promise that you'll be a leader and exercise leadership effectively as your natural self-expression. That's my promise. Get it?
Got it.
That's a partnership. And there's real power there. And I'm not dominating you with your promise, am I? I'm your partner in what you said. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so we can't, cliches. Did anybody see any cliches in your collages? Remember cliches? Huh? Hello? I'm not hearing you. Yeah, I have to keep touching both of them so they stay alive. Did anybody, how about this? Did anybody not find a cliche in your collage of those people who did a collage? Get them up there. What is this? What is this? Thank you. So, two people did not find a cliche.
Because
What about all the rest of you?
I didn't see anybody's collage.
Huh?
She checked my collage.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I didn't
Did you
see-
find any cliches in your own collage? In your own
Maybe
collage?
That's another question.
Huh?
I don't know. I need to think about it.
You need to think about it. Okay. Alright, so you can see that we need to do some more work on this, right? Did you find any cliches in your collage?
I don't have any.
But I didn't ask you, Lubo, do you have your collage? I didn't ask you that.
Whether I see the cliches in.
I asked you, did you find any cliches in your collage? Did you do a collage?
No.
You did not do a collage? Okay. Do you have a promise by when to do the collage? Aha.
So she's
I'm
not
changed.
fault.
Huh?
She's not fault for breaking a promise because
She's
she
not
didn't
what?
I
promise.
was changed.
She's not fault.
She's not, no, there's no blame, there's no power in blaming anybody, okay? There's really no power in taking credit for anything either.
We need to get a promise from
Huh?
her.
Yeah. So,
Do a promise to make a collage.
I'm here. It's me who made your promise.
did she answer your question? So, ask it again.
Okay, no. Do a promise.
Ask her if she will, okay, so
In
see,
In
this,
which terms?
ask her if she will,
When can you do it?
ask her if she will make one. You know, like,
Just a bit.
do it a step, for some people you
Okay,
have to
will
sit.
you do a collage?
Yeah, that's it.
Something.
And when can you do it? For what day, actually?
Next Tuesday or rather
Is it Tuesday or Saturday? And do a promise to do it.
Ask her, it's like, okay, so which one, right?
Which one? Which definitely one.
okay, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
And do a promise to do it for Wednesday.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday.
Who both promises to make a collage by Wednesday.
Okay.
Wait a minute, what are you doing?
Okay, promise.
We promise. Okay.
So you're in this leadership course, right? And you're committed to being a leader and exercise leadership effectively.
It's my natural self-expression.
Yes? Is that right? You are? Yeah?
Sure.
Then if you're committed to, do you know you're kind of being slimy about this collage thing? Right? You're like trying to escape it or avoid the domination
No, not
of
avoid. I don't want to give my word and then
not keeping
not
it.
keep because I know that I don't have enough time for this. It's not because I don't want or I'm not interested.
It's a time thing.
Yes.
Okay. How much time do you think it's going to take?
It depends on how many tasks I will have apart this.
Okay, how long do you think making the collage is going to take?
If I'll get some ideas, it won't take any much time. But
Okay.
if
Okay, so this is what's stop. You think you need to have some ideas before you do the collage.
of course,
Aha,
because it's a set of pictures, I can't just open Google and take all the pictures I think.
alright, okay. I'm gonna provide a new opening for you, okay? You don't need to think about it ahead of time. You go to Google and you type in some word, and then you flip through it. You can type in the word leadership, you can type in the word in some area that's important to you, and when you see, what are you doing? What's that?
No,
What's that?
it's my inner reflection on your words. You said I will type some words in
Yeah.
Google search, yes?
Yeah?
Yes, but I want to do it by myself, not with the help with Google, for example. I want to create the picture and then find it.
Okay, are you open to some other possibility in which you might not need to take a whole lot of time and suffer?
You want to say that if I won't use any tools, it will take more time, right?
No, that's not what I said. I said, are you open? Are you
Yes.
coachable? Are you coachable? Are you? Okay, you're not demonstrating it. Hello?
Yes.
Okay. So, if you go, you're open and you're coachable, yeah? Okay, so if you go to Google and just type in one, or don't type in anything, and go into images and look through the images, and you will see the one that you need to see. Don't get an idea. This is a technique that any of you can use. Don't get any ideas ahead of time. I don't want you to think of anything. I want you to have like a blank mind. No preparation. Just go look at the pictures and see what you see there and download the ones that'll go, yeah, that one. Okay, will you do that? Experiment? All right, and so you'll do that by when?
Bye-bye.
That's my question to you, by when?
Bye-bye.
By when will you
Bye.
do that? Is your promise still for Tuesday or Wednesday? Wednesday, okay. So it doesn't need to take more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Can you squeeze an extra 5 or 10 minutes in your schedule? Okay, so you're gonna save all this thinking time, like your preparation, you're gonna save all that time. It's a lot of time.
Alarm. Joke.
That's music. Okay.
Clichés for next time?
Huh?
Clichés for next time?
Cliches of leadership, we can't do that. I checked in with people, and they aren't even up to the level of being conscious about it hardly. It kind of goes out of their mind or whatever. There's not a, if you're going to do this, you need to maybe write a note to yourself. Look for the cliches, right? I asked them to do that. You notice nobody did it, right? So if I'm going to be 100% responsible, and I can be 100% responsible for everything, we're going to learn that being cause in the matter is one of the 4 foundational elements of being a leader. So, that they didn't do it doesn't make them their fault, okay? I have no power if I'm making it their fault. You with me? All right. So if I'm cause in the matter, if I look at myself being cause in the matter, I did not set up a structure for fulfillment, right? I didn't say, okay, I request that you do this. I did not say that. It was kind of like a suggestion, right? Did you hear it like a request? Did you? Hear it like a request? Huh? No? Did you?
No.
Okay, so, see, for at least 3 people right there did not hear it like a request. I'm cause in the matter of their not hearing what I wanted them to hear. So, of course I would get these results, wouldn't I? Now, if I would have made a request, I said, okay, I request that you look for cliches in your collage and come ready in the next course to discuss what cliches you found. Okay, that's now a request. I made that request. So, if you do not accept the request, raise your hand. So you've all accepted that request to look for cliches in your collage. They all promise. They all promise to look for cliches. So now, there's one piece that's missing for you to be potent in this. That's you're writing it down. So Werner, this is the guy who's responsible for this, invented this. He talks about where is your word when it comes time to keep it. And then he did this. Where's my word when it comes time to keep it? Can you see? If I set up a structure, I need to keep, I put something on this said, I promise, all right, whatever. And I promise to go to the bathroom when I leave the room. Because I forget, let's say. And I put that on this chair and I put a note on there and I'm leading the course and I'm going to walk. It's right there. Now I'm potent. My relationship to my word, it gets fulfilled. And it's going to make something possible to you. If you can create a relationship to your word, it's that potent. Am I communicating? Yeah. Okay. Course experience and judgment. Ask people if everyone has done that. See this? BPKP, NP, broken promises, kept promises, new promise. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. About the judging evaluation, that old homework, who have done it?
Say, do you remember the course experiment?
Do you remember this? This course experiment?
Yes.
Who have done it? For today is ready. Who have already done it?
No.
Find out who hasn't done
Who hasn't?
I haven't done.
it. We know you haven't done anything. You should still raise your hand. That's good. Look at that. What a champion. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Oh,
So he is judging people.
5, 6.
You done? Okay. Those who haven't done,
How many haven't done it?
haven't?
Have not.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We heard that. We was
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
Okay. So that's this one, right? Right there. Yeah.
We didn't give any promises.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Ah. Very good. So now what do you want to do?
New promises.
Good promises.
Yeah, who will?
Okay, let's create new promises.
Yeah.
Who will do it? And for example, for tomorrow.
I will do it for tomorrow.
I
Yeah,
can also
promise
do
to
it
you.
tomorrow.
I have promised too much for today.
I was a kid son.
That's
Okay.
why I want to promise.
For tomorrow,
For
we
tomorrow.
3, 1,
Yes.
3. And you?
Maybe for next Tuesday or Wednesday.
Next time.
Because just
In the nearest future.
Yeah. Just as like you will do your collage, I will
Always.
unless
Okay. Fine.
Okay. So does everyone who has not done this experiment now have a promise? Is there anyone hanging out there without a promise? Find that out.
No. The people that already done or will done
Okay.
or will do or will do.
So this, okay, so we got that complete? Yeah? All right, so now, this was, we were going to share from these. So this is all integrity. See where I have these indented? Down to here. This is all integrity. How long did it take us to put the integrity in?
Oh,
Yeah, how long is a lot? All right, 1724.
25.
Almost an hour, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. What we need to do is put some velocity in this, or the course is, and it wouldn't be a bad course for the whole course to be about integrity. It wouldn't be a bad course. If you could just put that one thing in your life, it would be a miracle. We want to cover some other distinctions. We'll need to start putting this in faster. Okay, good. So we were going to share from experiments, that's this one, the judging and studying. We're going to share from all this.
when all
But we can't. It's not anybody has done sufficient work. Only a couple people, right?
the
Slide deck. All right, let's talk about this, because we can get this out of the way.
slide and specific.
Requirements for a certificate. So y'all are going to get a certificate of completion that says you completed the leadership course, an ontological phenomenological model. And you will be a leader and effectively exercise leadership as your natural self-expression. Right? So there's going to be some requirements of whether or not, who gets a certificate. Okay? So I have some ideas of what I think they ought to be, but I just didn't want to legislate it. If we had 100 people, I would just say, okay, well, this is the way it's going to be. And but we have a small enough group to where we can do it, what's the process called? When you can, consensus. We can do it consensus. You can consent, you can vote. We could have voted on it with a lot. That's what you do when you have a lot of people. But we have a small enough group where we can do it by consensus. So what do you think ought to be a requirement for a certificate? How many classes should a person attend? If they can't attend a class, they must look at, no what?
They must look at me.
Must we can.
They must look at the video if they miss a class. How many classes can they miss and still count? That's what we need to establish.
But how many classes we actually have?
About classes, we can put very strict requirements because there are different demands of time here. And we sometimes may have classes at the same time when we have our class.
Right. Understood.
It's not very,
Convenient sometimes to visit.
Okay, this is what I propose. All right? That you either come to class or watch the video. So you'll see every class or be in a class. And that you will only miss 1 out of every 3 classes. So on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you could miss a Wednesday or a Thursday. Or if you accumulate 6 up, like and you're sick, so you could miss 33% of being here physically and still get a certificate. Yeah? Okay, now that doesn't mean I'm going to ask you to promise to be here if you know you can. So that would only extend to people who have some class already. It's not like all of a sudden you get a hot date and now because I promised to be here 66% of the time and I've been here a lot, I can cut class. That's not going to go. And obviously I can't check up on you, so I'm going to have to ask you to honor your word in the matter.
But however, if we have done all our required work,
Yes?
I mean the collages and etc.
Yes, that's a good point. So I would ask that everyone answer these 5 questions in order to get a certificate. Everyone do a collage. We're going to do one other, at least one other. I may suggest some other, but we'll do another one at the end of the course.
Well, maybe can't this point be an excuse for us? For example, if we miss more than 30% and we have all the work done, maybe it can be a point for us, a kind of an excuse to
So-
get a certificate anyway.
Say that again now?
If we missed more than 30%, but in spite we have all the work done,
Yes.
can it be an excuse for us to have a certificate?
So what you're saying is you want to miss more than
I don't want to miss, but I don't know my
case.
In case,
What?
yes.
what?
In case we miss some
In
lessons.
case.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure with my schedule.
Okay, good. Okay. So let's handle these in cases in the technology of the promising and keeping your word and honoring your word. Okay. Like there's these human beings love to. Well, what if I don't? Can I still hama, right? Just in case. Like just in case. So I assert that these in cases are what we do is to hedge our bets so that we don't have to be at risk. See, a promise puts you at risk. Yes? Do you know Ukrainian New Year's cards, like Christmas cards? If you look inside them, there's a lot of words of well-wishing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And y'all are masters at wishing other people well and hoping things. Now this is beautiful and it's great. And we aren't so accomplished in, we say, Merry Christmas, I love you, or, here you go, right? And that's it, But in Ukraine and Russia, it's an art form to wish someone. Now, I don't want you to hear this like a criticism, but do you notice what happens when I give you this beautiful card, right? And you read it. There, go ahead, take the card. Now read it. And there's like a book in there, right? And you read it, and now, so what's that like? And what's that like for you?
What is it written? Or
Yeah,
what's
so
more
you
relation?
got this card and it says all these beautiful things. Now, what's your experience? What's your experience?
I don't know.
How do you feel?
I feel great.
You feel great.
Yes.
And what else? Maybe you feel loved. Do you feel loved?
No.
No. Do you feel hated?
No.
Do you feel liked?
No.
What do you feel?
I feel.
Those were a lot of beautiful words. I mean, I paid.
I feel okay. I feel okay.
This was a thick one. I spent an extra $1 on it for you, right? And there's all these extra words in there. And you're only going to feel okay with all of my words? And the extra money that I spent? And I mean, those Ukrainian letters, they're really swirly and special. And you're only going to feel okay? Is that what you're telling me?
Maybe yes.
Oh, okay.
That's
That's
quite.
cool. Hold on, I'm going to get back to you. All right.
Okay.
How would you feel if I gave you a book full of beautiful Ukrainian well-wishing at the end of the year?
Actually, I don't like when people give me some postcards and there are some words because I know that it's not sent actually to me. It is just general words and it's not connected between two people. So,
Okay.
and I don't like when people, for example, congratulate on birthday, and they also send some stupid poems just like for strikes, so 4 lines, and it's just like means nothing for me. Just okay, thank you.
Okay, so
Because-
you're an okay too.
Yeah.
Alright,
But if they
alright.
write it by themselves, yeah.
If I give you one of those cards, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
And you'll be okay. Is anybody gonna be
It's
great
fine,
with
it's
one of
just
my
like
cards if I give you one of these cards that has all this? Is any gonna, everybody's gonna just be like this? Okay.
It's very pleasant.
Wow.
If you wrote it by yourself.
Pleasant?
Yeah, it's very
Pleasant
pleasant.
if you
Pleasant.
Yeah.
Okay.
wrote
So
it
you
by
feel,
yourself.
Yeah.
And you will see your signature or
Handwriting.
something like that. But now it sounds like it is typed, and we just read, and we know that the author is not your words, or it just something.
yes, okay.
Like you just spend some few dollars, as you told us.
Great, yeah.
And that's it. And okay, I can also spend and present you some card, and then we are so.
Then we feel okay together.
Yes. And
Yes.
that's it.
And then what do we do with those cards in the end?
Put on the table.
For how long? How long do they go on the table?
I don't know. I have some postcards from my birthday, and they're standing there almost 1 year, so it's just like very pleasant for me.
Oh, so you keep them around.
I have a special box where
You should have a special box.
Yeah.
Where do you keep the special box?
you want. I can.
Where do you keep it?
Yeah, it's home first.
At home.
It's
With
it's a
photographs, with all
Yeah.
which,
Yeah.
plastic.
How long do you
box.
suppose you will keep it?
I have some postcards, something like for 12 years.
12 years.
Yes.
How long do you think in another 12 years you'll still have them?
Yes, why not?
I will try to
When
keep
you're
it
80,
as
are you
long
gonna
as I
have
can.
Well, sometimes I take this box and we like see these old postcards again.
With the family or with the
Okay.
friends, we're just
Because
laughing at
it's-
that and just smiling and remembering all the times.
Do you pull them out and smile and remember them?
Yes, of
Okay,
course.
yes. But
Okay.
at the time this card was presented to me, I'm feeling okay. But a few months or years later, when I'm just feeling some feedback from this card, something like that, something like the feelings I didn't feel at that time, but now I'm feeling that it's warming, for example, my soul, and it's very pleasant for my memories.
Okay.
And you know sometimes.
I have another just like opinion came to my mind when, for example, there are some shy people who, for example, want to say about love, but they can't. Sometimes they can go to the shop and buy this postcard, and there is words said instead of themselves, so it's easier way. And sometimes maybe it could be that these words can tell you something, but not in the own way.
Yeah,
In
so,
the-
okay. So the words can speak for you when you
Yeah.
can. How much time do we have?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. So then you can pull them out and you can save them, and then you can pull them out and you can feel good about it, right?
Yeah.
And all these cards,
It's,
all these cards that I've given you over the years that are just kind of okay, or I can't really express what I mean, and and I give it to you anyway because I can't say, I can't say I love you, so
Yeah.
Pushkin can tell you what I can't,
I
right?
just know that one of my best friends couldn't explain to my best friend girl. That he loves her, so he just bought.
Her heart.
Yeah.
Yes, I got it. Wow. Yeah, okay. And then the card gets stored, and you could pull it out once in a while and feel good about it, yeah? Or eventually, I don't know, maybe your grandchildren will be tired of keeping them, but sooner or later you know where they're going to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
but for some reason we are keeping them.
I know. But watch. Okay, so that, you guys stay in this conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you notice there is a kind of like a commitment to feeling good, sort of there's a mood, but it doesn't stay around very long, does it?
I'm inspired with the topic of postcards, and I wanted to present a friend a postcard with my words.
Okay, I'm going to suggest something else, right? Not that you shouldn't get beautiful postcards. I think they're nice. but they kind of let us off the hook. You demonstrated it perfectly. I don't have to say I love you, so I'll get Pushkin to do it for me, and that way I don't have to be responsible for declaring. By the way, this is another, we're now going to deal with declaring. That's a declaration. I love you is a declaration. There's no evidence for it. I'm not offering to give you any evidence for it. There's no promise associated with it or a request. It's a declaration. I declare I love you. And it's that way because I said so. But if I get Pushkin to tell you, I don't need to be responsible for my declaration. Lets me off the hook. And I don't have to be responsible for who I am in the matter of our relationship. Can you see that? So most of our communication is designed around so that it minimizes the risk. And we don't have to be responsible. You'll now start seeing this all over the place. That would be good to take it on so you can see what I'm saying on the court. Okay? You want to see this on the court. Now, so here's what puts you on the hook. And here's where performance really lives. And here's where power really lives. Is I come to you and I say, I promise you that you'll find the love of your life by the end of the year. Now, how do you, right? There's maybe you feel good about it and you like it and it lights you up. I'm on the hook. This is uncomfortable. I now have given my word, and if I'm going to honor myself as my word, I have integrity in my word, I am now on the hook to her. And it's going to call me to be in action. I'm going to go to you, Lauren, do you have any interest in, hey, what about Jack? You know, I know somebody that maybe you should, right? I'm on the hook to you, and I'm on the skinny branches, and I'm at risk. Can you see that? Because I promised you, and that creates a future for us to live into, and it's not comfortable. If you want to be comfortable, you're not going to be very powerful. Promising puts you at risk, and you aren't going to be able to keep your promises all the time. That's what started this whole thing. Somebody's talking about. But, oh, yeah. It was you, Sasha. You said, well, what if I don't come all the time? Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of like the card kind of way of being. But what would be powerful is she says, you know, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I promise I'm going to be there. You promised something to me, yeah? And I listened to your promise about your being in this course. Yes?
Yeah.
That put you at risk, didn't it? You had to be a little bit uncomfortable, if not a whole lot. Yes?
Oh my God, no.
What do you mean, oh my God, no?
I mean, it's okay. It's okay to give a promise and then to not to break it and try to.
Yeah, it's okay. But you're now accountable for something that you said. You now have to catch up and you have to listen to these and watch these videos and and you have to be coached
Okay,
by
it's not a
her.
problem. That's why I'm present in here.
Okay, all right. But I
If I
assert.
don't want to do that, so what is the reason I'm here?
Exactly. But you're still, it's a lot different than you're just giving me a card. You said that you're going to do something, and it creates a future. We're creating a future between you and I.
Imaginary future?
Huh?
Imaginary future or?
No, you're going to be in this course,
Okay.
and you're going to do the work. And I'm promising that you're going to end up being a leader and exercising leadership effectively as your natural self-expression at the end of the course. I promise that. That's a future. It puts me at risk, it puts you at risk, and it's not like hedging your bets. Can you see that?
So, despite all the risk, we should always give promises?
Huh?
Despite the risk, we should give promises.
What about the, say it again?
Despite
Despite the risk, what?
we should give promises.
Well, the should part has me worried a little bit. You want to promise what empowers you, okay? Like what she said, is there some future that she's living into in the area of leadership that she wants for herself? And so she's willing to make that promise, right? So she's not hedging her bets. Like, well, what if I don't like it or something? She's all in, right? You want to get to yourself so you're all in. You'll be much more powerful. And what's available in this course will be much more powerful for you.
So this is.
And you'll be at risk because you might get sick or you might not, you might get into that. Who knows what could happen? But you're giving your word, and your word is going to create a future that you're going to live into. Otherwise, you're playing it safe. And it'd be like me giving you, it's like I can't tell you I love you so here, right? I mean, how safe am I, right? Does that make me? If I say, you know what, I love you, and, I'm not going to be going out and chasing other women. That puts me at risk. Yeah? But it could really empower our relationship.
Who knows?
Huh?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what?
Well, relationship is a hard thing. I don't think that this is a good example.
Yeah, actually,
Yes.
relationship is a very simple thing. Human beings make it hard. It really is a very simple thing. We make it hard. Because we inform ourselves based on our emotions and our feelings, and one day we feel this way and one day we don't. It's because we haven't given our word to something and then have our word cause what's in the relationship. It's human beings have emotions, and we kind of go with those emotions. And it's like the weather, the weather changes all the time, and so does your emotions. I love him, I don't love him, I love him, I don't love him, right? It changes by the day. But by the time you finish this course, you'll have a sufficient power with your word where you can say, I love him, and that will carry the day and not your emotions. And that's where real power is. And that's counterintuitive for human beings. You haven't ever heard that before on this continent. But we're going to run some course experiments and you'll see. You can actually say, I love you, and in the saying of it, generate the feelings. You don't need to stand around and wait for them to come upon you, really. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are we out of time?
5 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes?
3.
Okay, so anybody want to say anything to wrap this up, Lou Bolt? No? Any yeah buts, how about, what if? So will you promise to be here, even though you don't know, more than 30% of the time? It's unreasonable. Do you know it's unreasonable to make a request in the permit? It's unreasonable. And it puts you at risk. That's the point. So I'm going to ask you to put yourself at risk and promise that you're going to do that.
Okay, I promise to visit the classes more than one time a week. I promise.
More than one time a week? You're going to need...
I promise to miss one lesson per week.
What?
I promise, but I'm not promising. I'm just saying that I'm gonna
Miss.
miss one lesson
Okay.
because I have a reason.
Okay. And you have it already because that's the way your schedule is.
Because I was ill.
Oh yeah, but that's in the past. How's it going to be in the future?
In the future, I will be present only on Wednesdays and Tuesdays. Yes.
Okay. All right. And you will be here
More than once a week.
more than once a week. What's that mean? You're going to be here twice a week?
Oh, I don't know. I promise to be here definitely once a week.
Okay.
But I also promise to try to be for more than once a week.
All right. So we're going to have this conversation and get this flat with everybody and what they're promising and what they're going to do so we know who's in the course. And if you're not, it's okay. You can come and visit all you want, and you can maybe visit one time and get everything you need, or just read the textbook. But there's going to be the group of people that I do work with, and we're going to count on each other being here a certain amount of time. We don't have that flat yet. So, thank you, LeBeau, for your work, everybody.
Do you need my notes? Are you going to take the copy?
Will you be here next? Yeah, right back down. But you're probably going to watch the videos. I'm sure it's not. This is just
okej.
just